Hey there, and welcome to day 3 of my stash busting challenge. Today's pattern is my simple and sweet bow tie head warmer. Now this is actually an older pattern. I designed it many years ago, but it is a pattern that needed a little TLC. Either the pattern needed to be updated, or it needed a video, or just something to kind of touch it up a little bit. So I decided to add it into this challenge, and you can see it here. I find wearing head wraps a little bit difficult with glasses, but I'm going to try to make it work for you. This is a very easy pattern. I designed it back, not really when I was a beginner, but when I was more of a beginner at blogging and more a beginner at writing patterns. So it's a very simple pattern. If you are a beginner crocheter, this is going to be a great one for you. It's done all in single crochet. It's using a chunky yarn, so it's going to work up very, very quickly, and it's just a really fun project. And if you're somebody who looks good in head wraps or headbands, this is a great one for you. To complete this pattern, you will need approximately 80 to 85 yards of bulky number 6 yarn, a 9mm crochet hook, a large tapestry needle. You'll want to make sure that the eye on the tapestry needle is quite large so that you can thread your yarn into it for weaving in ends, and a pair of embroidery scissors. Okay, so this is my simple and sweet bow tie head warmer. Let's talk about the construction details. This pattern is constructed as one piece, flat, all in rows, but it is constructed along the width. So we're going to make a foundation chain that is short, okay? And we're gonna work like this, creating the length as we go. So we're gonna be working in this direction, okay? We're gonna end up with one long rectangular piece that we're gonna fold together. We're gonna seam our short edges together, and then we're gonna use a piece of yarn to cinch along that seam and cover it up, cinching in our bow tie, thereby creating the bow tie look here in our headband. Now for an adult size headband, which is what I'm going to make, we want to start by chaining 10. If you were going to do a child size, I would recommend doing 5 because their heads are smaller than an adult, and this would put the bow tie head warmer roughly thinner. It'd be roughly about half of the width that we see here in the adult size. So it would be a smaller version for children. Okay, so for the adult, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to chain 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for row 1, I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook all the way to the end. I like to go into the back post only. That's these little bumps on the underside of your foundation chain. This would be the top and this is the bottom, and I'm going to go into these little bumps. So the second chain from the hook would be 1 and 2. I'm going to insert my hook into this little bump right here and make a single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet in each stitch all the way down. Okay, so this is our first one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this is 9. Now because we did start in the second chain from the hook, we are losing 1 stitch. So though our foundation chain was 10 stitches, our row 1 is going to only be 9 stitches. Okay, so for row 2, we are going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work and we're going to single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Okay, so we will have 9 stitches when we're done. And the rest of the pattern is really super easy because everything from here on out after row 2 is essentially just a repeat of row 2 until you reach the desired length of your headband. Now, I do have a chart that is provided for you. You can find it in the written instructions in the PDF or on the website. So you can make a determination of how long you need your headband to be to go around the circumference of your head or for whoever you are making it for. So that's it. That was row 2. Just continue to repeat that all the way till you reach your desired length. We'll come back. I'm going to show you how to seam it together and then make that bow tie look here on the front. Okay, so now we've come to the end. I've reached the length that I want, and what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to snip the ball of yarn, and I'm going to snip it about, give myself like an entire yard, because this is going to be like a yard tail. I'm just going to go ahead and snip that, but I'm going to take my hook out, but I am not going to completely bind off. I'm going to leave it like this, and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to seam it together. So let me go ahead and just get this snipped. Okay. Okay, and I'm also going to go ahead and weave in this end right here just to get it done and out of my way. Okay. All right, let's just snip that little end right there. All right. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to fold our head wrap so that the two short sides are aligned, okay? So like this. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put my hook back in right here, and I'm gonna twist it so that I insert into this stitch here, and then I'm going to go directly across over to this stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch these together. Now, I said earlier, and I'm going to continue to do that all the way around, so I'm just going to go into each stitch, go all the way across, slip stitch all the way down. Okay, so here we are at the end, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull the yarn through. Okay, and what you can see here is that we have a big ugly seam. Okay, so what we're going to do is we want this to actually be on the inside, so we're going to flip our headband inside out. So this is a much nicer seam, isn't it? All right, pull my yarn through here. And now what we want to do to get that bow tie look here, we're going to scrunch this together like an accordion. Okay, so kind of push it through here, push it up through here, and then we're going to use this to wrap right here around the seam. Okay, so that's what our really long tail is. And if you had chosen to bind off and weave in your ends earlier, and then you have to come back with a piece of yarn to do this part. You're gonna have 2 yarn ends to do this, so you're gonna have to wrap with both ends. Okay, so you're gonna end up having to weave in 2 ends when you're done. Now, unfortunately, this yarn did come with a tiny little knot in it that I'm going to cover up right here. All right. Now, once you have your head warmer wrapped with enough yarn and has the look that you want, very simply weave this part in on the underneath of your bow tie head warmer. Do a little shaping if you need to. And there you have it. You're done.